Hello. I am doing okay today. I thought I would do a live video while I'm sitting here for a second, stretching my eyes. I my vision is still a little messed up. That is my number one symptom of I have neurological conversion disorder, and I have symptoms of it for about 10 days each month. You can consider it like the opposite of premenstrual syndrome, or premenstrual syndrome is when females have an active female cycle after menarche and before menopause, and before leading up to the days in which they're actively menstruating. People will have a disorder of like mood changes and stuff like that, and tension, and different little physical reactions. Some people's skin texture changes and stuff, leading up to the cycle starting over each month, because a female cycle starts on day one of it. And so after that stops, I have a syndrome that or a condition that flares up for about 10 days, and it causes me to not be able to see very well. I am, now that I'm not having cognitive problems like I was having due to being prone to epilepsy and dealing with that. Now that that's all gone, the cognitive symptoms, I can really watch all the conversion symptoms. It's all kind of different physical symptoms like tremors. Usually when you have tremors, it's part of it means it's degenerative. Tremors are usually degenerative, are part of like a neurological disorder like Parkinson's. My tremors are due to my system having a hard time processing changes. I have a neurological developmental disorder that makes my immune system, or not my immune system, my neurological system a bit more sensitive, so I'm prone to a conversion disorder. Not really prone, but I am able to have a functional neurological disorder because my female cycle is permanent. It's not something that's gonna stop. This is something that's really interesting. My car is sensitive. Is been kind of rode hard. I believe, looking at the size of it and stuff, that the person, the owner before it, probably had a family, and so they were probably back and forth a lot. They probably I can tell that, you know, there was a lot of start and stopping kind of stuff. Has 150,000 miles on it. So it's got a lot of miles on it, but it's not at the end of its rope by any means. In fact, it's technically got a lot of miles on it for its age. It is right at 11 years old. So the thing about cars when they have a situation like this is they, sure enough, with it not having anything wrong with it, there's no, the coolant system is good, everything is up to date in it, there's no major issues. It is sensitive. It gets a little sensitive. It is a car, so it's intellectually disabled. It does not, it's a little wonky. I've had, in the past 2 months, month and a half, I had like the sensors come on one day and told me randomly that one of the cars was flat, and it showed little pictures and stuff and all this. Just randomly, it showed me that the pressure on one of my tires was like halfway. I got out and looked and stuff, and there's nothing wrong with the tires, and it went off. So I've had a whole bunch of different things like that happen. It does have a hose of some sort connected to the PCV valve. The PCV valve is okay, and the main parts to it are okay. All the air system is fine, but there is a little something either with the sensors or and pipe a little bit is idling higher. It does that all the time. It's not enough for the sensors to come on and tell me. So when the weather started changing, when it went from cold to warm every day, and I put a full tank of gas in it, for like 2 weeks, my car was telling me it would just cut all that off. So it would, there's an electronic system that tells the like sensors and stuff, things can just cut off, like if there's something it's registering as faulty, so it triggers the sensors, the temperature changing and all that stuff, in order to like shut down. So normally the little revving high and stuff like that does not trigger the sensors, like, so it doesn't go into a safe drive, I guess you could say. It's kind of this, like a personal computer that's got all kind of different different types. There's a system on top of the car, like there's a sensor system, so, and it can override the normal function of the vehicle and whatnot. So it was doing that when at the beginning of it being warm again. Today and yesterday it stopped doing that. It is not going to get cold again. It is almost the end of April, and it's never super cold in May. It also rained yesterday, so the pressure dropped and stuff like that, and that is definitely a sign that, it's not going to get cold again. And we know that, that all that is because we know what the weather was like leading up to the days before it rained yesterday. So we know why it rained yesterday. So all that works with stuff like cars and stuff. Knowing where you came from. Or, the math of like what happened before, like I said, we know why it rained. So, we know what happens after it rains. You know, it dries and it goes back to being warm. So my car is not, the sensors are not coming anymore. It's not shifting. I say shifting, it's not the transmission, but the sensors are not being triggered. It's not a sharp drop. Because I noticed actually it came on when I filled up my gas tank all the way, and I usually don't do that. I usually fill it up to where it's almost to the full line. Well, you know, I just was like, yay, I'm gonna have a full tank of gas and work for a couple days just on that and not have to worry about putting gas in my car every day. Well, sure enough, I was like, the weight of the gas and the temperature changes and stuff caused my car to, it's not overdrive either, it's the air system, and that causes it to, like, what is the word? I think it's just hyperdrive or whatever. So, and when it's in that state, it won't, like, the braking can be a little, the only real difference besides the fact that it's really loud is the braking can be a little weird, and the get up and go is a little weird on the car, and that is cut off by the sensor being triggered by the big raising and dropping of the system being weird due to the little bit of air like issue that it has. So it has a little bit of an air issue that happens, and then when it's a sensitive situation like that and not like a clean issue, it will be blown out of proportion. You know, if when the weather is like doing really crazy things. So it's very similar to like a, you know, something being clogged kind of thing, and there isn't any like cloggedness in the airflow or anything like that. I checked, but it is funny because now that it's permanently warm, you know, it's not having any issues. I know that that is in there, that it needs to be fixed and stuff, but it's not affecting me. That is, actually, in comparison to, you can compare like neurological disorders and stuff, compare them to how that works, with a car. There is absolutely no part, you know, you've got like, and there's two things like white or black with a car that you can have. You can have intellectual disability, or you can have like, you know, no problems with a car and stuff, and it's supposed to do what it does. Or you can have a physiological type developmental situation, and that would, you know, depend on the part that's an issue and stuff. It points, so the problem is that literally the weather, you know, if I didn't know it before, and I do have it on paperwork because the check engine light's on, so if I didn't know why before, the weather diagnosed my car and told me what is wrong with it, because I know how systems work, and there are cables in my car and there are tubes in my car, along of course with working parts. So yeah, that is the math of that. Interestingly, So my number one symptom with my conversion disorder is my vision, actually. And my vision is not good today. And the thing is, when I, how I know, I mean, like, I can see colors fine. The one way that I know is when I take my glasses off, I can see better. Like, I can open my eyes more wide than I normally can. I can see better, like, perceive colors and depth a lot more clearly. And, but everything is more blurry. When I'm not having when I'm not in a conversion disorder, it's not something that I want to do. So literally, I wear glasses for 20 days out of the month, and 10 days I don't wear glasses. You have, like, it is like a rumor that, like, multiple personalities will have different physiological things. So technically, like, you know, that is what it is. And it does, it feels different. Like, I feel like I can't remember a lot of stuff during the conversion disorder, that I don't have the full conceptual field that I do when I am not dealing with the conversion disorder. So it definitely is a neuropsychiatric disorder. It is a mental illness, and it's really freaky. Like I said, I mean, things are blurry and stuff right now without my glass on, like looking far away, and this is what I'm looking at. So, like, I feel more comfortable without something on my face. Like, I can perceive better the colors and the depth, and experience the world around me without having my glasses on. So when I put my glasses on, I still get that perception of things almost like kind of jumping out at me. And so it makes me feel better to just, if I'm sitting here, to take my glasses off, because I can see fine right around me. Because I'm busy inside. I have a conversion disorder, so it makes me feel better. When I don't have a conversion disorder, after the 10 days are over, it feels better to have my glasses on, and I will be able to perceive things because I can concentrate a little better. So, in theory, what that is that the conversion disorder is taking place, is fixing the autism spectrum disorder, is giving it something to do. And this is just when it comes to, like, I'm just talking about senses and perception and stuff, and of course that all has to do with autism spectrum disorder, because your senses are you know, a neurological thing. So, ooh, excuse me. So it's really interesting. It's very much a real thing. It is not epilepsy, because I am not intellectually disabled at the moment. I can talk and reason clearly. In fact, I have a little bit of anxiety when I'm like this, and you can't have, you know, like I said, a mental illness and be intellectually disabled. So literally, the conversion disorder happens because I'm not intellectually disabled. It's like, everything catches up really quickly. After that change of brain fog and stuff, is I would, like to it not to happen at all, but I have to wait, until my body chills out, I would say, it'll be nice when it's over, but at the same time, I also am doing better than I was a couple months ago. And sure enough, like my car, I also have issues in the springtime. I have always been like that, and that is because I have a, everybody is like that to a degree, but my neurological system is like, all of that is having to do with the season changes and stuff. And springtime is notorious because it goes from, like I said, it doesn't, all the systems doesn't just pop up and be like, oh, I'm okay. Like, you have to relearn it every year. Not me, but my body. So I'm hoping that it will not go away until I stop having a cycle. I think that'll be many more years before that happens, and every month I will have to deal with the psychological blinding, which is the main thing that's happening. But it's been 10 days, and I am fine to drive around and do what I need to do, but it causes me to not feel so great, because I have it makes me unsure of my communication speed is slows down during that time. Literally, like, my connections and stuff are not working properly, so that also makes me not be able to think as clearly. And so when I try to do something, I overcompensate a little bit each time, I go to have a conversation or process things. And sometimes when I overcompensate, I may do something, and that causes me to have symptoms of Tourette's that are way worse than normal. Normally I just have simple, something I do is with my jaw. I just have some simple movements doing this and stuff like that, simple words and stuff. But during a conversion disorder, things may get a little worse, along with the fact that I have, last month was a lot worse, but this round, I have restless leg syndrome, which is actually tremors from a conversion disorder. I have experienced paralysis. I experience all kind of different weird little neurological things. The worst feeling is the worst part of it is the feeling of being a little disconnected from my surroundings. It's not, I can speak and talk clearly like I am now, so it's not epilepsy. It is anxiety that my body is registering from the conversion disorder and stuff, because I don't have all that I'm used to having. My vision is off. is the main thing. My hearing perception is a little weird sometimes. I hear things. I do not have schizophrenia. I do not have any kind of mood disorder or anything like that. So I know what it is when I hear something weird. All it is like I'll hear something and it sounds like it's coming from my left instead of my right. So I may be like, it may make me pause. Where normally I don't experience things like that. You know, I may hear something and it immediately goes to the back of my mind. That is processing. That is a little bit of a processing disorder. It definitely is uncomfortable. It is, you know, technically a feeling exactly like people who have ADHD or learning disorders, or motor disorders deal with. That is a different level. It means that I have to use my intuition, my gut feelings, in order to navigate things a little bit. And I am, you know, because I have autism spectrum disorder, it manifests into a physical thing where, so, and it comes back around to where, you know, just because it manifests doesn't mean the step before it has gone away. So I hit all the roadblocks on the way to having a not being able to see clearly, or in my vision changes. When the thing is that the worst part of it would be right when it happens. So technically, I have an episode of blindness, you know, for, we'll say 24 hours or something, and then the following week, you know, the 10 episodes, and the trauma is me starting my period, so that's the thing. And that has to do with change, and that has to do with, I have a neurological system that doesn't like change. So because it's not supposed to like change. It's supposed to snap rather than pop, and so bond pops. 99% of people snap, meaning they go from one extreme to the other. Hence the reason why bipolar disorder can be a diagnosis, because psychiatrically you can also manifest into something, you know, it presents, so like when you're not having, you know, it shows you like the body does and stuff. Because ADHD is a little part of, you know, bipolar disorder. It is the root and stuff, but most people don't experience everything. They don't experience, like I said, the snap. It goes from by steps rather than rolling up the steps, following, like, you know, so a normal neurology goes from level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With a person who is autistic, it's one line. There's still steps, as you can see, but there is no hopping from things. And so when somebody has, you know, so you have to, during the conversion part, it doesn't jump like that. So in order for me to get over to speed my system up and stuff, I need stimulation. And during that, it's not very much fun. You know, but today I felt strong enough. I'm moving around. I really didn't want to go to work today. I really was just empty feeling, crappy feeling and stuff, and I can see great. My eyes are not squinty and stuff. I'm not having narcolepsy symptoms, so, but my vision, or, you know, I'm still not having an emotional reaction to it. So, what I decided to do was get some caffeine. Even though I have to go to sleep in 5 hours, it's still better for me going up and dropping and going to sleep rather than trying to just drop out and go to sleep and wake up still being, where am I kind of thing. So I have to express myself emotionally in order to get my neurology to go back to how it's supposed to, kind of like a heart rate, for it to pay attention. So my neurological system has an attention disorder. I do not have an attention disorder. And it is Sunday. It is evening. It is about 6:30 on Sunday. It is what day is it? The 27th? 26th. The 26th of April. Alright, well, I hope everybody has a good rest of their day and has a good start to the week tomorrow morning.